good at.
And we do like people who are nearly human to show up at this group from time to time, occasionally. We're not going to do any blood tests. We don't care that much, but and welcome everybody to High Vibe Channeling on Thursday, the 28th of August. Thanks to our wonderful attendees. We'll give it another couple of minutes. Oh, and I need to make Mr. Luis host. Dun, dun, dun. Make host. There we go. I've lost my hostmanship.
You lost it? No, you can be co-host, my dear.
I've assigned it. You've become an agent.
Okay, no problem. I'll bat it back to you soon enough.
And
Mehul has a message in the chat.
Yes.
I hope that you guys have seen it already. Anyway, Mr. Ray, you were saying.
That the Pleiadians also said that they would like to come in tonight to talk to us about who we are connected to. And that just came on, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes ago. So we'll give the little darlings their stage time first, and then we'll see who else pops in and pops up. I still want to go back and watch the Usal from Thursday or from Sunday, because I just remember it was funny. But I don't.
You haven't had a chance, or did you have a chance?
No, I posted it in the High Vibe YouTube right before this. Yes, thanks, Mehul. Thank you, 2 Miles. But I haven't had a chance to really watch it. I just threw a little description together and then posted it. So it's out there, but yeah, I will get to that. I need a doppelganger just to watch all the videos. I guess we can give it one more minute. Anybody have any questions? Comments? Stories? Something spiritual that happened? Breakthroughs?
I think we're settling into the energy. Oh, look, Willow is here as well.
All right.
Welcome, Will.
Just on time. Well, I mean, we've been sitting here talking the whole time that we weren't going to start until Willow showed up. So now that she is finally here, now we can go ahead and continue with our evening. Yes, the star attendee. That's everybody. You all get gold stars and ribbons. You're all first place. Perfect, as a matter of fact. Well, cool. Well, now that the gang's all here, we'll bring in the other gang that's all here.
Yeah. Remind everybody, we turn the mics off, and later we put ourselves in the chat for questions and interactions.
I've heard that works pretty well.
It's all yours, Senor Ray.
And we certainly enjoy all of these happy faces. It is so nice to walk into a room where the faces light up when you arrive. Such is our joy at seeing you beaming at us in your energetic ways. It is a delight of sorts, like pulling back the curtain and there's a fabulous surprise waiting. We seem to have picked the right door number to get this group as our prize for showing up. And we appreciate each of you for helping and to not only create this opportunity, but in adding to it as well. For you, we hope you understand that all of these interactions are part of our education as well, for we have discussions around them afterwards, for there are certain nuances and certain things which we may need clarification on after these. So it's not really a debriefing, so to speak, because the teachers and watchers, they know, they will tell us that, oh, well, this is what they were referring to, or this is another way of saying what you thought that they said. Does that help? That kind of stuff. And since it's all telepathic, it can happen in real time. So there's not like we have to go and sit down afterwards and we get like humans do. But yeah, but that's one of the ways that you guys help us learn too, because every time there's something that pops up, somebody has a response or a question, and it's just interesting because we so look forward to these interactions that we kind of hang on every word because it's exciting to us. It's out of the ordinary, and not everybody gets to do it. We kind of get special privileges, we will say. And well, they're not really special privileges because they're shared with the other people, the other hybrids and the teachers and the watchers and lots of beings. But they are special to us because we get to be here and our thoughts get to come down. That's the important part for us. And we wanted to try surfing on your planet. We learned about that, and you get on these little boards, not our big boards, and then the whales and the dolphins and the seals and all of those, they really enjoy that. They like that. That's their way of flying, and it is really cool. But since we like flying so much, we want to try that too. We want to get out there and see how we can hold ourselves up and propel ourselves through the water like that. It's just one of those things that's you really can't experience until you're fully physical and immersed in your environment. We can only perceive what we think it might be like, and that is like getting a sample when you really want all the rest of it too. So that is our ways, and we will open up to you guys. And we do wish to share to you that no, we do not need clothes on our ship, but we will have to deal with human modesty when we come down. We just threw that in.
Christiana.
Hi, everyone. Lovely to be with you again.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Would you like to share a couple of examples with us of some action that you knew in theory and then you tried it like physically and it was quite different from what you might have thought? So like, you know, the difference of the theory and the praxis.
But they're supposed to be different.
Well, yes.
But that's why we do them both in a lot of ways, so we can see how theory meets reality. Because like when we were flying, we were in our special room, and it's convenient for us and for our training and just for fun purposes. And you know, how we imagine it might be is not exactly how it will be, but the differences are individual. So we all have kind of different expectations, and we all have group expectations in ways. And we kind of know what's going to happen because we know we're excited because we know it's part of our education, and the teachers are for it and watchers are for it. So we are all for it. We're excited about it. But what, for instance, like, oh, we do not wish to taste a lot of your food, but in reality, it may not be quite as bad. But our taste buds are not your taste buds, and our biological needs are not your biological needs. So that might be one area where how we think and how it tastes may be a little bit different. But there are so many differences between us because Well, because we have so many more senses than you guys do. You guys don't sense energy essences, which have been left for the most part. You might on some level, but you don't recognize it in the 3D world. And 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 you don't really see the energetic parts, and you don't have telepathy. I mean, you guys aren't even really talking with your pets yet, except on limited basis. And there are so few people comparatively who talk to trees that that, that there's a lot of differences that stuff's going on between what we do and what you do. But since we have the ability, our gap between theory and reality is probably a lot smaller than what you imagine. But coming up with some concrete examples really didn't work out so well. So we hope our explanation helped a little bit.
Thank you very much. Yes.
We're here to
Miles.
share.
Miles.
So my question has to do with the ascension process. And can you give me any insight into what the world will be like after the ascension, or how this process works?
Would you like us to tell you how every person will respond individually? Because that's what you're asking. Because in some places it will be shock and awe, because they will come to the stark realization, we're not alone. There are other beings, and they're knocking at our door, and our lights are on, and they know we're home, and we can't go anywhere. And there are others who are just going to be so excited that they will expire with excitement, because this is their dream come true. And after they do that, they know they will have achieved what they wanted to, and they will just say, Spirit, here we come. And there will be a wide range of things which occur in different spots. It's not like the whole planet will be blanketed. There will be talk everywhere, but there are still going to be some people who don't believe and who don't care. So that will take a while for everything to catch on, but it will happen. It will happen. It'll just take some time. So does that answer for you?
Yeah, that was helpful. As how does everybody take part in this ascension process?
The ones who choose to take part in the ascension process will choose to take part in the ascension process. And now you have to imagine you already are in the ascension process. You've been in it for decades. This has been planned out for millennia. So, but as it occurs, more and more people will become aware. And think of it like when the Beatles came. Then the Beatles came. They were just famous over in their local areas, and then in their local country. And then they came over to the United States. And then they spread around the world. But when they arrived, when you had open Beatle contact, the whole world did not know. But some people were really excited, and some people were really upset. And this will be no different. It is all part. And why this has to be phrased and carried out and managed in such careful fashion? Because humans are unpredictable. The probabilities are all pretty much squared away, but humans are unpredictable. So we and others, and it is all part of the plan, but it will go magically. It will flow. There is so much energy behind all of this. But we hope that our explanation of the Beatles will help you gain some perspective on how this may spread. It may go faster than COVID, but that is unlikely, because the resistance there, and it will be carried person to person and over your airwaves and social media, of course, but there will be pockets of resistance, and those have to kind of be won over before the unified consciousness can take place. So you are talking a number of years for that. But it is a process. It is a process. It is a fine wine which is being made. And you are lots of good grapes.
So, to your earlier point that this is an individual process. So what we're actually talking about here is something that happens inside of us and not something that happens outside of us. Is that correct?
That depends on perspective. That depends on perspective. Because you understand that there are so many different ways of viewing these events. And even beings who view and experience and integrate these events, even if they don't participate, they can still share with millions or more other beings and say, this is the experience that I encountered. For that is how everything learns. There are beings which will say, hey, this looks like a novel way of expansion. I'm going to bring this back to our race and our planetary system. And let's see if we can work something out with this to find more ways of loving expression. And play, and play. Don't forget about the play. And sing us. We need our songs. We keep reminding you, and we haven't detected any progress. But we know it'll happen because we love you guys, and it's fun and it's flow. So fun and flow and you guys, then that means success to us.
So are you saying that we're going to be singing your songs?
You guys really need to get together here. We are going to be singing our songs. We are waiting for you and your group and your earth to teach us your song so we can all sing it together on October 12th for the Hybrid Children Special. So we got to get going because you guys need to practice. Remember how it was last time. Oh my gosh. It is not a comedy show, and that was absolutely horrible. Nothing personal, but you guys really need some practice.
Okay, thank you.
We got that part. We need some practice for sure. Thank you, Miles. Next is Arla, please.
I am so happy to see you here. I have kind of a different question. This was something that the ancestor grandmothers had talked with me about a group of hybrid children that are coming from a very, very, very long way. And their space where they live is exactly like Earth. But the grandmothers had called them the red-headed children. Can you talk about these red-headed children? And the red hair it's different. It's not like a red that we would normally think of as a red, but it's almost more towards orange than red, but very neon looking. Do you know anything of these particular hybrid children that are coming?
The only sense that we had is that they are already here, but they are not detectable in that way. They are out of phase, so to speak, waiting for their opportunity to play their roles, we will say. Now, there are some similarities, obviously, between them because they have that label, we will say, and we use that term reluctantly. But but that we are not really, and we were kind of taken by surprise by that because we were kind of not aware of those particular kinds. But we get what we like. I mean, what we need. It's all relevancy. So we don't worry about what we don't. So there are lots of things that we don't know, although sometimes we can pretend that we know. But that's pretty much all we have for that. But we do like you asking and bringing that to our attention. So now maybe we can ask and find out.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your energy so much. And your truthfulness is so wonderful. Thank you so much.
We so love your Sasquatch connections. So love the Sasquatch connection.
And
they are
love you
big
too.
Furry hugs. They are big furry hugs. That's what they are. They are big furry hugs, and they hold you right into their hearts. Right into their hearts. You can hear them beating in your eardrums if you have eardrums.
Miles, please.
Ooh, can't get enough, huh?
Yeah, absolutely not. So, can you tell us anything about this 3-eye Atlas comet coming through our solar system? Very large. It's going to be near the Earth and Mars and Jupiter. It's coming in on the ecliptic.
We would rather make up stories with you about it so we can pretend what it is. But you have to understand that there are humans, and it's not anybody's fault. It's the way you're designed. But you have such limited perception abilities overall that you have so many beings all around you, but you're only concerned with the ones, oh, I can see this one, so this is the one I'm going to focus on. These other 912 that are around me and knocking on my head and looking through my garments and reading my books, I'm not going to concern myself with them because I can't detect them. But when things pop into your environment, obviously this is a mass co-creation, which you all know. But things will come into the skies and they will have secrets. And they may be part of other things in the skies. But it is all geared to the goal, waking humans up, helping them understand who and what they are, and that they are equal with not only the ETs, but with every creature and consciousness on Mother Earth. Every cricket, every cloud, every dust particle, they're all equal with humans. And once humans understand that they are just one puzzle piece, they're not a more important piece than any other piece. But once that works, then everything changes. And that's where we are going. And the things that come into your reality, which spark interest, are meant to spark interest. And even if we did tell you what beings were there and why that object is made of the specific makeup that it is, which also spurs questions. And if we gave you more details, it would lose a little bit of its luster, we will say. Because even when you let a little bit of air out, the pressure changes in balloons. Even if it's just a little pinprick and it's a big balloon, all those little holes make difference. And so if we let the air out of your secret surprise of Atlas A1, I think that's what you call it, then you might not get, or the effect might change things. And so we are just going to leave that for you, and you will find out what you need to know, of course. And there will be a surprise in this, but the surprise may not be coming from that itself, we will say.
Now, when I put my consciousness in that object, I found myself immediately in a large area. I didn't see any inhabitants, but I believed that it was inhabited.
Did you want them to pop out and say, surprise?
You know, I love that you get my humor. It encourages me to do stand-up or something.
You do have to understand, though, that when you move your consciousness, you leave physical laws, and although you keep that perspective somewhat. So although you go into a quote unquote room, that room may have features and attributes and characteristics which are not contained within the 3D reality.
Yes.
So although you could walk inside a thimble and find out it is the Colosseum, or vice versa, and say, let me out of here. But at least the thimble would have little holes. If you were small enough, you could crawl out.
Thank you.
This is fun. This is fun. It's a long play day for us. It is. We want to learn how to ride bikes. That's a balance thing. We'd be really good at that. We think we're planning on doing tricks, and we can all ride bikes together, and we can do things and throw things back and forth while we're doing it. We could have a whole circus of hybrid children, but we have other things to do. But that might make a nice Christmas special.
Well, I rode
Christiana,
my
please.
bike today, so I'm in.
Christiana.
Thank you. So I would like to ask a quick question on behalf of my relatives. Because, you know, last year I visited them in Greece, and I was telling them our star families are coming and ships will be showing up, so get ready and all this. And my cousin said, will they help with the olives? You know, the whole process of gathering the olives and making the olive oil and all this. So that was his question.
Well, the real question is, do they need help with the olives?
Yes, they always need help.
But the help that they need is all labor intensive. They know what the processes are. They've refined them over and over and over. But if that is the desired outcome, then someone might. But it would be a stretch for us to imagine an olive mission being that important that early in the process.
I see.
Willow,
that was
please.
a quick question.
Hi. I had a dream a few nights ago where I traveled in a flying bus, to a hybrid sanctuary that was deep in the Pacific Northwest forest, possibly in Washington or Oregon. So I was curious if you could speak about the hybrid sanctuaries that will be created in the future, and if one will be located in the place of my dream. So thank you.
The place of your dreams is not physicalized in the ways which you imagine. So keep in mind that everything that you see in your dream has to be taken back to you to have those symbols decoded. So what you think they are is an acceptable representation of what they really might be. So the areas which you saw may be representative of those areas, but they may not be on your map, so to speak. Now, the gathering of the hybrid children, they and we are very interested in your creations. For although they do have certain qualities and characteristics which we find lovely and admirable, they really are not representative of what we know as us. But that's okay, because it helps spread awareness. It helps get people to understand that there are these darlings that are coming that we're going to love to pieces. So that's kind of where we're sitting on that. If that
Thank
helps.
you. Yeah, everything is very symbolic, and everyone experiences something unique to their own perceptions and their own beliefs. So I understand.
But
Thank
we
you.
will say that you are involved with the hybrid children. You are involved with the hybrid children.
Thank you. I feel that too. I appreciate this interaction.
We can't say more. Well, we could, but who wants that kind of consequence?
Does anybody else would like to have an interaction with the hybrid children?
We like thinking about when you were talking about reality and physicality, or physical meets reality, then we were playing catch with certain of your objects, but we weren't exactly just using our physical attributes, because not being fully physical and having a little bit more mental control, we were able to make things a little bit easier for us and not expend all of the physical effort, but kind of like a boomerang coming back to you. But yeah, but we know different humans will react differently to that. Because they might consider that a little bit of an unfair advantage, that we can make objects move a little bit. But that won't be the rule so much when we get on your planet. But we're not there yet, so we're just going to explore it and have as much fun with it as we can. You would too. You get in a big toy store and they say have fun. You're not just going to wait for the time to leave. You're going to have fun.
So you mentioned earlier, in answer to one of the questions, shock and awe of some of the reactions of humanity. And on the other extreme, you said, and others will be so ecstatic that they will expire. I like to consider that there is even way beyond that. Some of those that, are with this now, very much in tune with what is happening and will happen from our time perspective. Once they get to that point that they're so excited, they probably are going to realize that that is a big opening into something even much more expansive that still may require, or they may feel that needs to have some 3D presence on Earth.
There is another aspect of ascension which is escaping a lot of humans, although it is talked about, which is the DNA activation. Because once your consciousness achieves a certain level and unification starts to set in, there will be more activations, and you will not only have more vibrant senses with more depth, but you will have more vibrant and depth of emotions. You will be able to feel more love. And luckily for us, that coincides with us showing up, and you say, oh, look, they showed up and I'm feeling all of this love. It must be these adorable hybrid children. Not understanding that part of that is what you have created in mass by reaching that level and activating that part of your biology that goes with the reality that you are going to be in. Well, you're already in, but you're working towards it from this angle. So that is another part of this, which maybe that is not as well known as what we think it is, but you can help spread the word on that yeah, keep on going, because once we get to the level, we all get ice cream activation on our DNA. It sprinkles, and it'll be fun because that makes it easier for everybody. And there's more love coming and more love sharing. And that is really, really going to amp people up, because like it has been said before, the biggest transformation of all of this is in the human hearts. Focus on that.
Yeah, and that is a beautiful ending for tonight's message.
Ending. Ooh, okay.
Thank you, hybrid children.
Well, and we thank you. We thank you for letting us slide in and have some fun and play around a little bit and dance and sing a little bit on our end, but not so much on your end. You guys need to work on that. Maybe we should have you guys all just, dance in your chairs or something. Ooh, when we sing, is it too much to ask for a dance too? Maybe something simple like hand dancing or something like that. But work on that. Surprise us. Surprise us. We'll pretend not to notice. We can act very surprised, because excited and surprised look a lot alike anyway. So
I think, dear hybrids, we're gonna try to put together a choir committee that will prepare the festivities, and there'll be a director, and we'll practice. We promise to practice a little bit.
Don't tell us that if you're not going to. Okay. We are going to. Ooh, the channel's all sweaty. That's unusual. We must be heating up. But okay, we are going to go back to our non-studies. This is more of a meditation time, not really recharging, but more of a relaxation and assimilating, we will say. So thank you all fine people. Thank you for coming to play, and come back again and see us and amp up, so we can come see you soon. You are such darlings.
Thank you. We love you. Love is it.
Oh, yeah, the hybrid children do not blush, apparently. Otherwise, they would have, Luis, after what you just said.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna turn on the AC.
We're gonna take a few minutes. Whoever needs a little break, and we'll resume our normal chat. We're happy that all of you are here.
Well, I can see if anybody has any questions first, if you want.
Okay, sure.
I just wanted to turn my AC down.
Oh, I thought you had a longer one for sure.
No, yeah. Just had to.
It's an open chat right now, so anybody that wants to interact with Ray can do so.
That was fun, and I wasn't really aware about that DNA activation thing coinciding with them showing up. That was very interesting.
Yeah, when the word expired came into the picture, and I think I sensed some ripples in the field, and I also sense big openings coming after that. There's not such a thing, there's so much more out there for everybody, and that's a biggie right there. So how's everybody? I think we're taking a break, no matter what. So
now I have the memo.
You feel better now?
Well, I feel drier now.
Yeah, there
I feel
you are.
better.
Good.
Yeah, it's about a quarter of a pound heavier than it was when I started.
I see. So we want to acknowledge that Wendy and Dave came and Heidi as well. And we welcome you all as well.
It's always a pleasure to see them pop up.
Yeah, absolutely. More than a pleasure.
Hello, everyone. We're outside, so it's pretty dark out.
Hi.
Hey, hi. Your voice does the trick.
It's always good to see and hear all of you.
Thank you. Always good to be
Yes,
with you.
yes, yes. And yeah, then I guess now we'll let the Pleiadians come through, unless somebody else wants to pop up and pop in.
Well, that's always a possibility. But let's see. Whenever you're ready, Ray.
Well, let me go check on my pup
Okay.
and give me a couple minutes. I'll be right back.
5 minutes, Ray. Okay.
Make it 4.
Okay. 4.5. We'll round it to 5. How's everybody doing? Senor Bruce, how is life? I noticed a change,
Excellent.
Bruce.
Well, we're all one.
That's right. That's right. That's why I make, you went like that. And I said, no, wait a minute. It's like that. No, I'm kidding.
But obviously we became less than one because we found it more interesting.
Well, yeah, we became much less than one.
Mm.
But that's the spiral of all of this, It goes in one direction, then it goes in the other direction.
It's like those, you place the little ball under the cups and you shift the cups all around. You go, where's God? Is it under that cup?
Well, it turns out all cups are God. Bruce, you have such amazing, beautiful energy, and the wisdom is trying to come through your whiskers.
You're very sweet, of course.
Thank you. So let's see, Christiana, how's everything in Europe for you? I mean, going to Greece anytime soon?
I am hoping to go in the beginning of October. The weather is still nice.
Mm-hmm. I gather you have a lot of family back there.
Yes,
Yes,
more than I know.
more than you know, and you own half of the olive oil. The family owns half of the olive oil fields.
No, we just have a few olive trees and they make the olive, and it is quite a cumbersome process.
Yes, it is. People don't realize how farming can be very, very complex. Many crops require a lot in order to get them. Of course, I don't know that well because I'm not a farmer, but I observe occasionally what happens. And I say, holy Moses, got something going on here that's pretty intense.
I'm sure it's a nice concept, to think of some extraterrestrials and locals working together with the olives. It would be fun.
I'm sure that at some point, with the assistance of other humans that are closely aligned with the extraterrestrials as well, a great mythos will be developed to ease the process that they have to go through. I'm sure
there are many Star Nation people working here and have been for quite a while. In gosh, what would I call it? Eco-friendly ways. They are communicating to them new ways of planting and using energies and different things to get whatever it is that you're growing to have even more nutrition, because for so long the food here, we've gotten away from food that has the right nutrition in it. And there are many that, like the ones that I work with, are working with all the elements and helping in that way. So, are they sitting down with a group of people talking? Yes, there are some that are doing that. Are they in what we would consider their natural form? Not necessarily, but it is happening. It's just, you just don't hear people saying, well, we're having a gathering and someone from Arcturus or Andromeda or wherever is going to be here helping us to have more of that positive energy in the food. It is happening, but you won't hear about those things in the media for sure. But those things are happening.
Well, you touch on new ways of planting, and I have observed here and there, and mostly on YouTube actually, some very innovative techniques of actually producing crops in very compact spaces
Yes.
that they're extremely productive, and should be yielding things that are, a quote, I'm going to use the famous word organic, with relatively ease. It shouldn't be that complicated, and it should be the way that everything is produced, really. Anyway, so I've seen a few that, in fact, I said, if I had the money, I'd probably get into that one, buy the land and do this and do that, that sort of thing. So new ways are coming for sure.
Yep. And
But
and
you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Nope.
Of course.
Doesn't matter how many wonderful alien technologies arrive on the planet if the people aren't prepared to be better people. Sorry.
Sure.
Yeah.
well, if the people aren't prepared, the aliens aren't coming.
Sure.
Well, if the people aren't prepared, they're not going to know who would be, let's say, the instructor anyway. The people that are going to grow from this association are the ones who are already open to this happening and doing it in a loving way. And connecting back with what it is you're growing and the earth that it's growing in, or the solution that it's growing in, or however those things are. Yeah, and there are going to be a whole lot, and I hear old farmers and new farmers say the only way you can grow a garden is if you come in, spray herbicide, and then make sure you get ahead of the bugs with poison.
Sure.
And, so you still going to have that
Yeah.
mentality of how to do things, but I know I see every day more and more people who they're looking for a different way to do things. And that's like with the Sasquatch people, they have helped bring back old ways of growing medicines and things as well. So we've got the help, but like you were saying, Bruce, if you can't make people understand this, it's got to come from within them for sure.
For me, I just take a little tomato seed and I just put it in dirt and add a little water and I just wait, and it seems rather simple.
It is. And as a person who grows a huge garden, they're my relatives that are growing. They're growing because they're going to nourish me. And we have this symbiotic relationship that I am thankful for them. I sing to them every day when I check the garden of a morning, and I have that. And that's one of the things that we can do in our growing, regardless of how we grow, whether we're growing in the earth or we're using other things that are organic ways of doing it.
You know, now that you say that, I'm thinking that planet Earth is really a garden for self-exploration.
Very good.
Very much
Beautifully
so.
said. Beautifully.
Yep. And we are all cosmic gardeners.
Yeah. Very much so. You know, there's another layer to, you know, the way that Christina told the story and about her relatives and the olives. And
Mhm.
that layer is that essentially they were saying, how does that help me? You know, I got this issue here. You know, I don't, I mean, in a sense, Christina, I'm sorry, but they basically told you, hey, you know, you're living in La La Land. Look at this is the reality that I
Yes.
live in, and
Yeah.
you're not helping me with any of this. Now,
Yep.
and that's the way it'll be. You know, I patch it to Bruce's very insightful way of describing that. There's going to be people that
Yep.
escape, all of this escapes them. But once how it permeates into them, it will be when they see a fellow family farmer that has allowed itself to use some of these new ways, and they are producing much more than they, you know, on whatever basis they like to analyze it, you know, on a hectare basis, you know, produce a lot more product and they make more money, you know, and they'll start watching that and say, how the hell did that happen? And they'll start opening up to these new ideas. The economics has some possibilities even in the spiritual sense, of course.
And a funny,
Anyway, it's
funny
an
thought.
opinion. It's a funny thought, but it's, it's the circumstances that force the openings of people from the ways of the past, basically. Anyway, and with that, I think that yeah, go ahead.
It may be negative thinking is like pesticides.
Well, the negative thinking is polarity, and the more negative it is, the more polarity there is, and the more polarity there is, the more energy and potential there is for big change.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mr. Ray, I think if you're ready, we're ready for you as well.
Thank you. Did you want to stop and restart the recording?
No, that's okay. You can continue.
Okay.
You know, there's this thing called editing that happens in the world.
I've heard
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, I'm shopping for
You know,
that on
and this would
Amazon.
be the easy
Can't
part of
find it
the
in my
editing because
size.
it's just a straight cut.
And Bruce, I don't know if you would be willing to help us put together a little ditty for the hybrid children that's simple enough that all of our extremely experienced vocal range abilities can handle.
We'll talk about it.
Okay, I'm just throwing it out there because I'm good at throwing things out there.
And I don't know, some of the girls are probably pretty good singers, you know, and you know, then we can practice something that, you know, makes a little bit of sense for
Hey,
everybody.
I'm all about doing the lip syncing.
You know, I am really good at humming.
I'll play air guitar. Anyway, yeah, I do have a reasonable idea of what the Pleiadians are up to. And I'm kind of curious about it myself. So we shall see. Apparently, what they told me is not exact, but it was misleading on purpose, I believe. And greetings again, humans. We have come to you on a short-term basis to remind you and have you reflect upon and in some ways reconnect to the beings which are communicating with you. Now, we are not here to tell you which beings, which races, which energies are interacting with you. But what we would like you to do is to blank your mind, if you will, and then to yourself or to others, if you wish, say, I know you are connecting with me. And feel that feel. That's all we would like for you to do, is to just feel that feeling that comes in when you say, I know you are connecting. Now, that is just what we would consider the baseline. The notice that the space is available to be occupied. And you can build upon that in any way you would like. It is a free form foundation. Just that little bit, that little sliver of connection can open up two worlds of beings coming in and celebrating and loving with you. If that is what you desire, if you are willing to do what is necessary to allow that to happen. And sometimes that is just giving permission. But we do wish for you to focus on the beings and being that you are connecting with, because all of you are multiple ways. Some of you have what we would consider supervisory or management roles outside of your physical roles in the Ascension and in places of other realms, which are nothing like this one. But you guys all work together on a regular basis. And the beings which are, we won't say attached to you, more like have taken a liking or a flowing to you, we will say, they are generally grouped together as well, but there are always new ones in the mix. It's always going to be interesting. There's always going to be new perspectives to be shared, because that is the purpose of all that is expanding, that new love experience. So for you guys to think about and know that you are connecting right at this moment with another being, not necessarily your higher self. We are talking about another being. Now, yes, it is all you, but the impetus which creates that is not coming from you. That is your interpretation of that energy. That energy does exist. You just see it in the form which you prefer. In this guise, in other realms, you see it differently, as it sees you differently. So we will leave it up to you how far you wish to take this little exercise. And you can strike up the conversation. You can move it into automatic writing. You can move it into full-scale channeling. You could just move it into helpful hints throughout your day. But the thing of it is, you are in control. Everything and all of those energies and those many, many beings are waiting for you. You just have to give the word. You just have to drop the flag, and this race is started. But think about how far you want to take it. There are no limits. None. If you can work your consciousness to hold 100,000 beings, then 100,000 beings would consider coming in and getting together with you. Now, we kind of feel that unlikely, but we are not going to tell you that there's things you cannot do. But think about expanding some more. That's what you're here for. New territory, new ways of loving, new ways of expression. And all of them are not just physical. They are all important in physical. But you're here to brazen new territories, to carve new paths into untapped realms. You're doing a fine job. But that is our little soliloquy for today. And we appreciate you taking your time and your mind to put a little bit into this. And we hope that it bears fruit, which you find very delicious.
Christiana.
Hmm. Hello,
Greetings.
greetings. I would like to first of all thank you for all the help that you do. I know you help so much, so on so many levels. So thank you for all of the help.
You're very polite. You must have wonderful parents.
Yeah. I'm just stating some truth as I see it. Right, with regards to beings being attached to us, I know I have a lot of beings around me. I feel them, but I have been unsuccessful in having conscious contact. So, like, imagine them rolling their eyes and shaking their heads and saying, "Oh, she's so useless."
That is not, they are laughing and pointing because you have been contacting with them. They have been in contact with you. You have never not been in contact with them. It's just that there are some things which you do not wish yourself to experience in that way at this level, we will say. And there are some things which shall unfold in their own time. But you are having the contact. Understand that. And try to get that negative phrasing out of your vocabulary unless you wish to throw up further blocks. Because if you know that, say, you can jump over a puddle and you keep telling yourself that you cannot, you're just increasing the odds that you're going to splash down. But if you say, I am in contact, I just haven't fully realized it yet, or I'm getting better at understanding the contacts and the connections that I have. These beings that desire to help me are really making progress. Talk to yourself, give yourself some pep talks. Don't be disappointed because you are having those connections. You just don't realize it in your waking consciousness, or there are times between time in your guy's reality where the vibration is not, it is a vibration. It blinks on and off. And in between those, there are things that happen. But that's not really what you were asking about. But we hope that helps a little bit.
It helps a lot. I will adjust my vocabulary and inner thoughts. Thank you.
They're waiting for you.
Much love to them too.
Anyone else would like to have an interaction?
Well, they are having interactions.
At the conscious level.
These are energetic days. Maybe they're dazed from the energetic days.
Okay, I'll take that cue on energetic days. It is very intense for sure, the energies. Lots of things happening, lots of reasons why at least I need to take little naps and find restful moments, no matter what the requirements of a day are all about. So, on a personal level, Pleiadians, do you have any message?
Yes, ask for condensed sleep. Because your time is linear and illusionary, and although you do not spend all of your time in it. You may, like when you have your moments of extreme excitement and joy where time kind of stands still, and you do not age as fast during those moments, you can do the same with your sleep. You can ask for some condensed sleep so your body recovers faster. Now, the extent of the help that that will provide will depend on the individual and your soul plan and other things of that nature too. What you have asked for and built will still happen. But you can energize yourself in that way by getting more sleep credit than you do the time frame that you put in. The other part is you can imagine yourself using a lot of energy, like running down a football field or running to catch a small child and just zoom, zoom, zoom. And seeing yourself doing that can also help increase your muscle and your fluid flows and your mental activity. And that can help amp you up too for short periods. So if you wish to do it repeatedly, it will still help you. But those are two smaller things which you can do, but you have bitten off a quite big chunk of that apple of life. And it takes some working with the jaws to get it all swallowed and get it down, and that can take some energy. But yes, but we hope that that is something which can benefit you and provide you with a little bit more of an energy uptick.
Thank you. It does indeed help.
And of course, the water. The water can help you sleep. You can ask the water to help you sleep, especially as your friend Miles does, and imbue it with the moon and the sun water. But the moon water has more connotations for nighttime activities, and that will be, it will have more energetic flow behind it for the beliefs which aid it, we will say. So you can even have special sleep water if you would designate it, and that will aid you as well, because your beliefs are so powerful, and water is so absorbent and transmutes all of those energies. All earth energies are transmuted by water.
I have a communication with water even when I take a shower, and try to connect to it in many ways and declare it the water of light and the water of creation, revitalizing, resetting everything that I am.
Then this should be a natural practice for you. And well done.
Thank you. Does anybody else has any questions, comments, desire for even personal? Pleiadians have a lot of good information about what you're going through.
And we do enjoy these because you all are helping us build our perspectives, and our interactions, while they are shared sparingly, we will say, not that they are hidden, but this is a special project for us. But there are so many bright points amongst you and amongst those who have come and are not physically present, that we have been able to assist many other beings as well in their attempt at obtaining more perspectives for the ascension, which are relevant for their particular paths. So this is turning into a very well-rounded event. And you guys are more important than you may realize, because it is a model of sorts, because the vibration is so consistent and the openings amongst you is so, it is free flowing. It is allowing. There is very little resistance because the judgmental quotient, we will say, is low. You are more willing to accept and analyze rather than to judge before you let it resonate in your mind. Like some of the, we do not wish to call them non-thinkers, but less thinkers, perhaps. So with that, we thank you again for your courage and allowing us to come through and for allowing us to remind you of the connections you have desired and set up. Answer the door and we will go, and we are always willing to help if you call on us.
Thank you,
That's the way you
Pleiadians.
set it up.
Thank you.
And we recede. Well, it didn't exactly go how I thought it was going to go.
So what did you expect it?
Well, when they said they were going to, I thought they were going to do more of a one-on-one deal.
I felt the one-on-one thing, and that's why I put like an invitation out there.
And I'm not saying that they didn't, but they
Sure.
didn't do it on our level.
Well, at the conscious level, there probably was for sure. Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Because that was also a wake-up call for the beings as well, saying, hey, these are humans. They could use a little reassurance here.
Right. Well,
So,
I felt their desire to understand us better comes into a heightened state as each of us interact, and the more personal the interaction is, the deeper that it goes. That's what I felt.
yeah, but I'm just amazed at how much power we have as humans. And I never realized, I mean, I realized more this week than I have in quite some time just because of my own personal experiences. But on doing that with them, when they were talking about all of the beings which wish to connect, it's just incredible. We could fill up stadiums with all of these beings which wish to come in and maybe not be channeled, but to just share our experience, are just like the ones I was talking about earlier with Miles, the ones that just wanted to come in and take one human breath. They just wanted that one experience. And it's becoming easier for humans to do that. And there are no limits. When I first started doing this, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm channeling two different beings. This is getting crowded. And now it's like, now that I've had like 36 beings come through, and I just got set up so I can draw in more information and allow more to have access. I mean, are we going to hundreds? I don't know where this is going to end. I mean, look at Heidi. She's been doing this for barely 4 months, and she's already got close to a half dozen entities already coming through her and doing a fine job. So, and Wendy, I was shocked and pleased to find out that Wendy was channeling the hybrid children 5 days ago, and I'm glad that popped up on my feed. Good stuff.
Well, I've actually been doing it for about 10 years. It's just most people don't realize I have like 2,000 videos. So I completely understand your excitement. Believe me, I completely understand. So, forgive my being quiet. It's nice to just sit and listen.
Hey, whatever's best for you is going to be best for us.
And as always, if we have questions or comments, we'll always be happy to chime in.
Yay!
Thank you.
We like to participate in amplifying the energy.
Hey,
You do a beautiful job of that. I can
Amen.
feel it.
Well, I know I didn't take many notes for tonight.
You're
Kinda
busy
did at the
tonight.
same time.
You know, you're definitely busy, but you'll have a chance to, in your free time, you can review the video. Ha!
Yeah, it's a crazy time. It really is. And I have,
Well, you know, we say it's a crazy time, but at the same time, it's the time that we have created, and here we are, and we're built for it. You know, if you take the different layers of the different periods of your life, you start seeing how those periods brought about very important elements that now have integrated with other elements into this beautiful core that allows you to be in touch with what's really at the forefront of.
thank you, Miles.
Yeah. Good night, Miles.
Yeah, but yesterday it's still blowing me away.
I know. I don't know. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, or maybe not today?
Well, I don't know. Did you want to stop the recording and we could start it again, or
Sure, we
I don't
can
know. I
do
mean,
that.
if
Yeah.
you know, they can look at the information on the
Yeah.
on the YouTube.